Hello everyone, and thank you for tuning in with us today and watching the 2021 Legacy Awards. This is such a special honor for all of our teachers, as this comes directly from all of our classrooms, straight out of our students' mouths.
Our Legacy Award winners are selected each year by our high school seniors, and they represent teachers from our elementary, middle, and high school. A Legacy Award winner has to academically challenge students, push students to do their best, be a positive role model, and hold students accountable to the highest standards. We are very excited to announce our Legacy Award winners.
Hello, I'm Krista Nelson, the principal at Center Grove Elementary School. I am honored to read the names of the following staff members who have been awarded a Legacy Award from our high school students. We really appreciate our high school students thinking back to their elementary years and these staff members and the wonderful work that they do every day with our students. Congratulations to Connie Allen. Mrs. Allen was the most influential teacher I have ever had. She is the one person who made me decide at such a young age that I wanted what I wanted to do when I grew up. I want to be a teacher just like her. Congratulations, Connie. Our next winner is Amanda Artizone. One student writes, she was a very caring teacher. Congratulations, Amanda. Next award winner is Stephen Blackburn. Mr. Blackburn was my favorite part of elementary school. He pushed me to be my best outside of school as well as in school. He made a wonderful impact on my life. Congratulations, Stephen. Our next award winner is Connie DeWert. I had her for 2 years in elementary school, and I'm thankful for the time that I had with her. She was full of life and really inspired me and others at such a young age. Congratulations, Connie. Our next winner is Melissa Maxwell. Mrs. Maxwell always pushed me to do my best, and she had strict standards in her classroom. I believe that this helped me to be more respectful. A fond memory that I have in her classroom was her grading our math notes and telling us good or bad things in them, and her plans to include them in a commercial for her style of notes. Congratulations, Melissa. Our next award winner is Shannon Nunnally. Mrs. Nunnally helped me all throughout elementary school. Even though she was my kindergarten teacher, she allowed me to take home the tadpoles and frogs from her class. She really inspired me to be the best person I could be. Congratulations, Shannon. Congratulations to Dustin Russell. Student writes, he was a good, enthusiastic teacher that has taught me a lot about time management. Congratulations, Dustin. Our next winner is Becca Smith. Student writes, she was not only a great teacher, but a great friend to me, and I have several wonderful memories of her 5th grade class. Congratulations, Becca. Our next winner is Christy Waters. Student writes that Mrs. Waters is always kind and helpful and is the sweetest teacher ever. Congratulations, Christy. We're going to move on to Terry West. A student writes, she made a huge impact on me as a person. She's always encouraging and willing to help. She treated us all fair and equally. Congratulations, Terry. And last but not least, Peggy Young. Student writes, Mrs. Young was very understanding and kind with me when I wasn't able to hear well in class. She pushed me to excel in mathematics and put me on my math track that I'm on today. Congratulations, Peggy. We are so proud of our CGES staff and our Legacy Award winners. Congratulations to all of you. It's a very well-deserved honor.
We are so excited today to honor Maple Grove's Legacy Award winners. I say this every year. I know I sound like a broken record, but this is one of my favorite events that we do because it is coming straight from the students. And as educators, we do what we do because of our kids each and every day. And to know that lasting impact and to hear the ways that you have impacted kids years beyond the time that you had them in elementary school is just such an honor. So I'm so excited today to have several to share with you from Maple Grove. Our first one is a former 5th grade teacher teacher here at Maple Grove, Carrie Dilley. She had several comments from teachers, but one of them that really tugged at my heartstrings said, Mrs. Dilley loved all of her students and was very passionate about teaching them. She inspired us to get out of our comfort zones and be creative. My whole class fell in love with reading, and every student in that class had a special connection with her. The lesson she taught me will stick with me for the rest of my life, and she is someone I continue to look up to. What an honor to hear that. Our next honoree is Mrs. Barb Dunn, who is a retired third grade teacher from Maple Grove. Mrs. Dunn, one of our students mentioned that she pushed me to achieve my goals. And another student said, we did so many fun things that I still remember to this day from third grade, and I especially loved making gingerbread houses. Our next honoree, every year, Mr. Ron Hobson is one of our Legacy Award winners, and this year is no different. Even though he is newly retired, this is his first year as a retired fourth grade teacher, but still a legacy nonetheless. So one of his students shared he was always caring about the students and loved to teach. I remember him telling me on the last day of fourth grade that he would keep me and my dad in his thoughts. Because at that time my dad was deployed to Afghanistan, and he would ask about him, and that meant a lot to me. I have never forgotten about that moment. So the power of small moments. Boy, what a great lesson to learn there. Mrs. Betsy Levitt, who is one of our current fifth grade teachers, is another legacy honoree this year from Maple Grove. She had lots of comments from her students, but a few said how fun she was, how she made learning fun, that she made me feel welcome at Center Grove, coming from a student who was new that year. She was always kind and positive, and she was a great teacher and supporter. So great words there about Mrs. Levitt. We also have Mrs. Wendy Schmidt, who is a retired fifth grade teacher from Maple Grove. One of her students shared that she was always so helpful when it came to all subjects, and anyone who knows Wendy knows that this part is true. Says although she's now retired, her class was a very fun time. From pet shows to ice cream trucks, she knew how to keep a class entertained. And boy, that was one of the things we loved about Mrs. Schmidt. And last but not least is a teacher who was a former fourth grade teacher at Maple Grove and actually is now an EL teacher at North Grove Elementary, Mrs. Sandy Serpico. Her students shared that Sandy was always very motivating and that she was a great teacher and very kind. So congratulations not only to Maple Grove's honorees today, but to all the teachers being honored and all the teachers each and every day who continue to make an impact on our kids, a lasting impact on our kids.
Hi, my name is Ron Steiner. I am the principal of North Grove Elementary School. I've been blessed to be a part of the Center Grove community for now. I'm finishing my 20th year, and I've worked at 5 different schools in our school corporation. And I've really been blessed to work with so many teachers throughout Center Grove, including many fantastic ones here at North Grove Elementary School. The Legacy Awards are one of the most time-honored traditions that as a teacher, myself personally, is one of the most valued awards that a teacher can receive. Our first Legacy Award winner is former North Grove teacher, Nicole Davis. We have 2 students that wanted to share their feelings about how Mrs. Davis impacted their lives, including they said, she was my favorite and she made learning fun. Another student shared, she helped me mature. Our second Legacy Award winner is retired teacher Penny Pointer. One student said, she pushed me to do my best and inspired the thought of excellence in me. I was challenged academically, and through this, I was able to learn perseverance under academic stress. She also inspired the love of math in me, and I have her to thank for inspiring me to push towards the top of my class. Another student said it best, great teacher, very fun. North Grove's third Legacy Award winner this year is Mrs. Joyce Rogers. She's currently here at North Grove and definitely makes a huge impact on our students today too. What one student said about Mrs. Rogers is, she is one of the best teachers I've ever had. She constantly pushes me to do my best and taught me how to work to 100% effort. Another student shared, she was very kind and was the only teacher that related to her students and made sure everyone felt welcome and comfortable. North Grove's final Legacy Award winner, I personally have had the opportunity to work with her at multiple buildings, and she is a former teacher from North Grove and currently the assistant principal at Sugar Grove Elementary, and that is Mrs. Mindy Vanderveen. What one student said was, she was always so positive during my 5th grade year. She would strive to make the kids happy. She was very understanding and she truly cared about all of us. Our next student shared, "She's the GOAT, greatest of all time." Thank you for all of your service.
Hi, my name's Trey O'Kelly. I'm the principal here at Pleasant Grove Elementary School. I'm fortunate enough to recognize 5 teachers for the Legacy Award. It is an award that seniors have the opportunity to recognize teachers that made a difference in their lives. And what a wonderful award. And here's our list. First, Randy Allen. Here's something that a student wrote about you, Randy. He said, he was just a really good teacher and knew how to keep things interesting. He was super fun and made learning exciting. He made me want to live my life without regrets and smile all the time. Congratulations, Randy. Our next teacher was Vicki House. And here's what a student said about you, Vicki. Mrs. House was a great inspiration for me. I had a huge fear of storms and would have anxiety attacks whenever it started thundering. She would help me calm down and reassure me that I was strong and I had the courage to continue. Even after I graduated 2nd grade, she would come by my current classroom to check up on me. I will always remember her for her kindness and her ability to teach. Vicki House, congratulations. Our next teacher is a current teacher at North Grove. Her name is Luann Luck. And here's what one of your students wrote, Luann. Throughout my elementary school career, Mrs. Luck was by far my favorite teacher. She put so much effort into making sure everyone felt relaxed and comfortable in the classroom. She put in a lot of effort in teaching and got to know each and every kid that stepped foot into her classroom. I am so glad I was able to meet Mrs. Luck when I was in 5th grade because she had a significant impact on my life. And she has pushed me to be a better person and to always shoot for my life goals. Congratulations, Luann Luck. Our next teacher is April Patrick. And here's what one of your students wrote, April. Mrs. Malden always inspired me to do my very best. She was my 2nd grade teacher. And while young, she left a huge impact on me. She is kind, creative, and overall, she is just amazing. April Patrick, congratulations. And our last teacher recognized here at Pleasant Grove is Nicole Montfort. She was a 4th grade teacher. And here's what a couple students wrote, that Mrs. Montfort was a joy to be around. She made everyone around her feel included. She was kind and she was exciting. She brought innovation into the classroom. So congratulations, Nicole Montfort. Congratulations to all our Pleasant Grove Legacy Award winners and also to the Legacy Award winners around the district. You do make a difference. You have put in tremendous amount of work. I love the care that you give to each and every student. It makes me proud as a principal, as a father, and just as a person in this community. Thank you for all that you do.
Hi, I'm Kristen Radman. I'm the principal at Sugar Grove Elementary, and this is such an exciting time of year when we get to recognize some of the awesome things and the awesome lasting impression that our teachers have had on students. As an elementary teacher, there is nothing better than knowing that you had such an impact on students that when they get to high school, they're still remembering how you helped them, the lasting impression that you will have, the great experience they were able to have in your classroom. So our first nominee for a Legacy Award this year is Jody Barth. She's a current 5th grade teacher here at Sugar Grove Elementary, and students had to say she was great at keeping students engaged, and Mrs. Barth encouraged us to be creative and let us follow our interests. Next up we have Pam Calvert. She is now at Middle School North, but students had to say she welcomed me into her classroom as it was my first year at Sugar Grove. She always pushed me to do the best that I can. Next we have Jennifer Fields, who's now at Pleasant Grove. She is very caring and helped our whole class succeed. Mrs. Fields was my favorite elementary teacher because she always found fun ways to teach us and was always super kind and funny. Next we have Mark Koenig. He's retired right now, so he's enjoying his retirement with his family. He introduced me to music and allowed me to love it for the rest of my life. I know he's retired, but he really made an impact on my music career and always encouraged me to work harder on my music. Next, we have John Rugenstein. He's moved on from Sugar Grove Elementary, but he put me on the right track to success, given that before his class, I was a bit of a troubled student. I'm pretty sure he doesn't teach at Sugar Grove anymore, but when my mom got breast cancer, he made the school year an enjoyable year, and he helped to take my mind off of the bad things that were happening in my life. Next, we have Alicia Whitehead. She changed my outlook on school and showed that I could do well with my academics. I loved going to class every day. She made learning fun. She showed genuine love and compassion for her students and her job. And last, we have Doug Wooten, who is also retired. He was inspiring, always pushed me to do my best. Mr. Wooten was my 5th grade teacher. He made going to school very fun with his guitar and made sure all his students knew we were in a nurturing environment to learn in. Congratulations to all of our Sugar Grove Legacy Award winners. What a great honor.
I am Mr. Brian Proctor, the proud principal of Walnut Grove Elementary. And this time of year is always an outstanding time of year to recognize our teachers. But these teachers are our Legacy Award winners. We have 2 of them here in our building, Mr. Jason Mueller and Mrs. Jennifer Rydens. Mr. Mueller, I am nominating Mr. Mueller because not only did he want all of his students to do their best, but he helped us to be the best we could be. Mr. Mueller made sure to actually get to know every single one of his students and cared for every single one of us like his own. I'm so grateful that I got to have him as a teacher, Jason Strong. And our second person is Mrs. Jennifer Rydens, a 5th grade teacher here. I am nominating this teacher because this class was so fun. The one thing I can remember is going to Flat Rock, and we stayed the night. We had so much fun in the cabin, and Mrs. Rydens was always a fun and sweet teacher that always helped me when I needed help. Our 2 outstanding Legacy Award winners, Mr. Mueller and Mrs. Rydens.
One of my favorite times of the school year is when we get to recognize our Legacy Award winners. I think just like our teachers, the reason this is so special, it's when our kids come together and they decide who to recognize for the impact that you have had on their lives. So without further ado, I'm going to take this time to recognize each of our Middle School Central Legacy Award winners for school year 2020-2021. So here we go. Our first teacher, Dan Anderson. This is what a student had to say about you, Dan. Life-changing. Mr. Anderson inspired me and many others to enjoy singing and music in general. His method of exposing kids to something new and cultivating talent is something special. He pushed us to be our best and always pursue perfection. His witty remarks and funny jokes always enlightened the mood during a tough rehearsal. Congratulations, Dan. Next, Anthony Bell. This student shared that they really enjoyed being in Mr. Bell's class because, although it is difficult to make language arts fun, he always managed to keep everyone engaged. I always enjoy being in his class and learning more about his funny stories with his family and his interests in us as students. Congratulations, Anthony Bell. Next, we have Allison Dixon. Allison Dixon, this student shared with us, you were a great coach, and most of all, you helped me with my English. Congratulations, Allison Dixon. Next, Kevin Gaughan. Your student shared, funniest and nicest guy ever. Very outgoing and kind teacher, funny, nice, and fun. Next, we have Laura Gunderson. Laura, here is what your students shared about you. You really helped me to find an interest in Spanish, and I appreciate all that you did throughout my middle school community to help me find a group of friends that I could nerd out with and spend time with. I also appreciate that even though you recognized me as an overachiever, you never called me out for putting in too much effort into something and always made me feel welcome to ask you any questions that I had. Congratulations, Laura. Next, we have Will Hibner. Will, your student shared that they were nominating you because you are someone that always believed in them. You had great things to offer and wouldn't allow the students to quit on themselves. He pushed me out of my comfort zone and cared about me, my character, growing, rather than how my grades were. He always highlighted the empathy and kindness he showed to other students and allowed themselves to embrace it fully. I had been scared of being mistreated, but in this class, I was taught the value of being completely authentic always. Congratulations, Will. Next, we have Leland Kennett. Leland, your student shared, you made schoolwork fun with your unique projects and teaching styles, very uplifting, understanding of every type of student, which is always good for students to prosper. Super hardworking and kind. Congratulations, Leland. Next, we have a teacher who's no longer at Middle School Central and has moved on to somewhere else in another district, but it's Andrea McCoy. Students shared with us that Mrs. McCoy was always willing to take extra time and explain why problems that you might have were difficult and to make sure that you had what you needed to be successful. She always made class fun with her lessons and through activities like coloring club. Congratulations, Andrea. Next, we have Brandon Painter. Brandon, your student shared that you taught me more about life and real life lessons than I had learned from anyone. You seriously put our education first, and I will never forget you, and I am grateful. Congratulations, Brandon. Next, we have Susan Porter. Susan, your student shared, she is an amazing teacher with a great passion for teaching. She helped me with my science fair project, and I got into the top 5. She took me to a place where they made and repair transmissions, which was amazing. That helped me to decide my career path and be more secure. Congratulations, Susan. Next, we have Brian Quinlan. Brian also has moved on to other places, but we want to congratulate him. His students shared, he was the best teacher. He made math fun and easy to learn, and he was always helpful. Congratulations, Brian. Next, we have Sean Riley. Sean is no longer at Middle School Central, but is at the high school. This student shared that they encountered you in both places. You were chill. You always were there for them. You were also this student's star teacher, so they got to know you really well. You supported them throughout middle school and high school, and they are thankful. Congratulations, Sean. Next, we have Gary Robinson. Gary Robinson's student shared that he always shared about life and was always a positive influence on his students. He always loved his job, helped students to become better student themselves, and also a better person. Congratulations, Gary. Next, we have Matt Rodman. Matt Rodman, your student shared with you, Mr. Rodman made learning fun and was always available to help when I needed it. He follows me in my athletics and my schooling to this day. He cares for all of his students and wants to see them and help them succeed. Congratulations, Matt. Next, we have Kaylee Schmidt. Kaylee is no longer with us and has moved on in her career, but this is what students had to share about Kaylee. She gave me confidence that I needed to succeed and do well in school. She was very nice, very helpful, and a fantastic teacher. Congratulations, Kaylee. Next, we have Heather Story. Heather, here's what the students had to say about you. Mrs. Story was one of the kindest, most compassionate teachers I have ever had the pleasure of learning from. She was gentle in disposition and always willing to listen. Mrs. Story cared for her students as people over products, and she continuously inspired me to cultivate patience and love in my own life. Congratulations, Heather Story. Next, we have Jennifer Taylor. Jennifer, your student shared, she has always pushed me to be better than the day before, and she cares about her students and their mental health, and always ended class, and Mrs. Taylor, I've always heard you say this, you always ended class by saying, love ya, mean it. It always made your students feel good. Last but not least, we have Brian Turner. Brian, your student shared that they are nominating you because you have always been there for them. You took your time to connect with your students. He always made me smile and feel accepted. Congratulations, Brian Turner. Congratulations to all of our Legacy Award winners for Middle School Central this year. What a great job you've done for all students, and it just shows when our seniors and upperclassmen over at Center Grove High School take the time to write about you and share the amazing impact that you've had on their lives. Congratulations again.
Hello, I'm Davin Harp. I'm the principal here at Center Grove Middle School North, and it is such a pleasure to announce our Middle School North Legacy Award winners. It is an educator's highest compliment when your students remember you several years after having you as their teacher and they want to honor you with these kinds of positive memories. So first up is Michelle Carter. I enjoyed her as a teacher. She pushed her students to be the best. Brian Doherty, fun teacher, always knew how to keep everyone involved. Elizabeth Flath, she was very involved. She was my cheer coach and director for the musicals. I really felt like she believed and advocated for me. Chrissy Harmon. Mrs. Harmon always had an open ear to listen to my ramblings, even if they were completely off topic. She would always push me to be myself through our conversations together. Beth Haven, the sweetest and most caring teacher. Greg Jansen. Mr. Jansen pushed me to be the best that I could be at science and helped me through the transition into a new school that year. Nancy McDowell. She helped me grow and was always finding a way to help me academically and personally. Travis McMahon. Mr. McMahon always made me feel welcome and always pushed me to learn and challenge myself in everything that I do. Andrew McRoberts. He is why I looked forward to going to school. He is why I'm so interested in a government job. Rick Miller. Mr. Miller had a good sense of humor that made class very enjoyable. Allison Oppenheimer. Miss Oppenheimer was always such an understanding and kind teacher, as well as cheer coach. She is absolutely amazing. Joe Shemp. He always tried to push his class to do better and was instrumental in keeping up with my music career in both the violin and piano. Dan Steer. He loved teaching and made it fun. Great guy, an even better teacher. Meg Witt. Mrs. Witt helped me find my love for social studies and writing while also encouraging me to be a leader in everything that I do. Congratulations to all of our Middle School North Legacy Award winners.
The end of every year gives us the opportunity to ask our seniors to reach out through the Legacy Award program and nominate a teacher who has made a significant difference in their lives during their 4 years here at Center Grove High School. So today we have an opportunity to look through and read some of those quotes that come from your students thanking you for your dedication and your care and the difference that you've made in their lives. Center Grove High School's first Legacy Award recipient for this school year is Duncan Baumgardt. Mr. Baumgardt is the best teacher I have ever had. He dropped everything to help a student succeed. His job was to help kids do their best, and he did that. Junior year, I ate lunch with Mr. Baumgardt almost every day because I was struggling a bit. He helped me with schoolwork and let me talk about whatever issue I was having that week. I tell every person I know about the impact Mr. Baumgardt's compassion had on me. So I hope he knows what he's doing isn't going unnoticed. Jeff Buckmaster, great teacher, very real. Troy Burkhart. Mr. Burkhart has been one of the best teachers I've ever had. I've always struggled with history, but Mr. Burkhart made it a lot easier for me to learn. He is very easy to talk to and is one of the most caring teachers I've had. Jacob Bursky, who is no longer a Center Grove High School teacher and has moved on to other opportunities. Mr. Bursky is why I love science. I loved his class, and he is part of the reason I'm going into biochemistry. He has always shown compassion and understanding towards his students. He would make sure his students were engaged and repeatedly checked for our understanding. He is an excellent example of what a teacher should aspire to be, and I am incredibly thankful for the opportunity to know him. Paul Clodfelter. Students can always count on Mr. Clodfelter to cheer them up. It's rare to find a teacher that seems like they care for and know every student they talk to. As a star teacher, Mr. Clodfelter always maintained a light and positive atmosphere and has taught me many things I will carry through life. Julie Coyne, very supportive and energetic, always wanting to help me bring my grade up and keep me encouraged. Katie Armit, Mrs. Armit has pushed me as a student to work extra hard on everything I do. She not only is an amazing teacher, but also is an amazing role model. She makes sure every student feels recognized and pushes people out of their comfort zones. Over the 4 years I have had her, I have been able to open up and become more comfortable with her. She cares about all of her students and makes it clear that she wants the best for them. Troy Dice. This teacher held me to high standards and pushed me to do my best, not only in his classroom, but in life as well. Timothy Eddy. I am nominating this teacher because he was someone that cared deeply for each of his students. He focused on our characters and made sure that we were always pushing ourselves. He had a deep belief that I was more than I made myself out to be, along with many of my classmates. Along with his character, his class was always a safe and fun environment to learn in, and all of my classmates and I still talk about memories we created in his classroom. Summer Airsman. If I could describe Mrs. Airsman in one word, I would say the word sunflower. She is the most vibrant, passionate, joyous, positive, and caring teacher I know. I can hear her soft but melodious laugh even though I haven't seen her for many months. She would never forget to say hi to me every time I walked in her classroom. She took the time at the beginning of class every Monday to ask each individual person how they were doing. I admire her and hope to be like her one day. I think of her and I almost always smile. Ann Elsner. Mrs. Elsner is an extraordinary teacher, truly the best there can be. I went into her STAR class almost every day my sophomore year to get help with honors physics, and she was very helpful and patient with me and my classmates. Jacqueline Fowler. I am nominating Mrs. Fowler because she inspired me to pursue photography as my major and helped me come into my identity as an artist. I appreciate the fact that she helped me so much during the 3 years I have known her. Chris Frampton, retired teacher, Center Grove High School. It was with Madame Frampton that I embraced the French language, and speaking and writing French came naturally. Even though she was all over the place, as some of my friends say, she was a great teacher and made coming to class fun. One of my favorite memories was when we brought in a giant stuffed hippo to celebrate her retirement. 6th and 7th period were the highlights of my day, and she's the reason I'm minoring in French next year at Ball State. Merci beaucoup, madame. Nathan Frye. He encouraged my art and actually promoted my development as an artist through legitimate critique. My older teachers just praised me constantly with no advice on how to get better at my craft. Although it can be nice to be praised, I feel as though they really stumped my creative development. Mr. Frye really helped jumpstart my improvement as an artist by giving genuine advice and always showing me the next step forwards. Katie Gaff. Mrs. Gaff is one of the most important people in my life. She has always believed in me, especially when I did not. Above all else, she has accepted me for who I am and what I am, in my entirety. Mrs. Gaff has taught me far more than the elements and principles of art. She taught me about life as a whole. The world is a much better place because of Katie Gaff. Carol Gallion. I am nominating this teacher because from the first day of freshman year, when I had her, she made transitioning from middle school to high school so easy. I would go into her class every study hall and star. Thankfully, this year I got to be her TA. I joke saying she is my school mom. She has truly impacted me in such a positive way, and I'm so thankful for having her as the teacher that I can go to for anything or just to talk. I will miss her for sure. Drew Garrison. Helpful, generous, kind. Barb Janegi. This teacher never gave up on me and always made learning German fun. Chef Greer. She is very relatable and always makes her class feel less pressuring. She is very relaxed and gives us a good laugh every class. She puts us first and teaches us life skills along with baking skills. She includes us in her life and tells us what's going on. She is a very real person to us. Ryan Hendricks. The beginning of freshman year is always scary, but Mr. Hendricks was also experiencing his freshman year too. When I started high school, it was also Mr. Hendricks' first year at CGHS. The first connection we made was through my cousin, and from then on, he has become my favorite teacher to this day. Mr. Hendricks has always been there for me, and from my first day at CGHS. The words that I would use to describe him are funny, caring, and selfless. Eric Howe. This gent has impacted my life for the better in more ways than one. To me, a good teacher isn't someone who only educates a student about a topic in school. A good teacher is someone who teaches you more to life and has lasting impacts on your future. Andy Kowalski believed in me even when I was doing very poorly in his class, helped me learn and excel in chemistry. He is a fantastic teacher. Leslie McDowell. She has been an extremely kind and helpful teacher. In the winter, while I was sick and recovering from surgery, she went above and beyond in helping me get through the work I had missed and making sure I was all right. When I was in need, she showed genuine concern for me. Erin McNeil. She is very helpful and also helped me with anything I needed. She was really sweet and was always there when you needed her. She always keeps up with me and always does what she can to help me be successful in school. Dana Mcnulty. Mrs. Mcnulty brought me smiles on days where I didn't think I could even go to school. She made learning enjoyable. I looked at her as such a role model. She helped me through hard times without even knowing it. It was always the highlight of my day to go to her class 5th period and just be able to be myself. Alicia Milligan. Mrs. Milligan taught us hard material in organic chemistry, but it was always coupled with grace and patience as we tackled learning difficult concepts. Through all of hybrid and e-learning, she still pushed us to learn and gave us information with encouragement and the mindset of purely learning what we could. Her class made me want to learn and change the way I look at class and its purposes. Russ Milligan. Mr. Milligan was a great teacher, guide, and motivator. He pushed me to do my best, even when I didn't want to. If I struggled, he pushed me to embrace the challenge. He lent a helping hand when needed and lit a fire under me when I was slacking. He was my star teacher as well, and he always supported me as I moved through high school and inspired me to pursue biochemistry as a career. There is no one more deserving. Marty Mills motivated me every day, taught me lessons that I could not only use in the weight room, but to use what I learned in the real world. Eric Moore. He taught me more about life than any teacher. As both a teacher and a coach, he pushed me to be the best person I could be. He has been a mentor to me and many others, and I strive to be the kind of man that he is. There is no person at this school that I respect more than him. He deserves this award more than any other teacher due to how he impacts his students and players. I would not be the person that I am today without him. Jared Norman. Mr. Norman is single-handedly the most caring teacher and mentor I've ever had. He genuinely cares for and loves each of his groups and all of his students individually. Toby Rumple. She made me enjoy English class even though I am not a fan of it in general. She made me enjoy coming to class. Andrew Rifa, who moved on from Center Grove High School to pursue other opportunities. In my entire schooling career, you have had the biggest impact on me of any teacher I've had. You had a way to make any lesson engaging, and you used a bunch of different teaching styles to keep everyone moving at the same pace. You were always there to encourage me, give me feedback, or just have a conversation when nothing was going on. I felt extremely comfortable sharing anything in my writing and exploring new ways of expressing myself because I knew you wouldn't judge me. You are everything a teacher should be, and I was so lucky to have you. Sean Sanders, my favorite high school teacher. Mr. Sanders was the most helpful teacher I have ever had, and I loved going to his class every day. Kevin Schessler. Mr. Schessler is always willing to talk to me. He will always make time to talk to people when they walk up to him, even if he is busy. He has a great sense of humor and always gives great advice inside and out of education and music. Brent Scholes. He helps inspire my creativity and actively pushes me to try different ideas that would be impossible for me to do before. Lindy Scott. She is always caring and puts forth effort to get to know and engage with her students. Josh Surface. Mr. Surface is an excellent teacher. The atmosphere of the room is inviting and comforting, and the way in which he runs the class is liberating and substantial to my education. Never have I met a teacher more caring and understanding for high school's individual lives before I met Mr. Surface. He truly cares about his students and has proved to be immensely helpful in their studies. Casey Tedrow. Mrs. Tedrow is one of the nicest people I have ever met and has always been kind to her students and helped every student that has come her way. Andrea Tevan. She not only cares about her students excelling in grades, but she cares about our personal lives. She helps and cares about her students as individuals. She will drop anything that moment to help, and she is very motivating. Jessica Thomas. Mrs. Thomas has a heart like no other. The amount of time, effort, and energy she spends in making sure each and every student enjoys learning nutrition is truly awe-inspiring. I can say that as her TA in my junior year of high school, as well as a neighbor, she treats her students as her own children. Her drive to make sure her students pass her class and the time she takes to help her students, along with her smile that brightens up the room, is what makes her such an amazing teacher. Brad Timmons. Extremely passionate about what he teaches and is exceptional at explaining it in a proper way for everyone to understand. Greg Werner. I struggled in physics, but he was always willing to spend extra time helping me outside of class. He is very engaging and caring teacher who always supports his students. Amy Wingler. One of the only teachers who really pushed me to do the best work I can, even when I didn't have the motivation to do so.
Thank you for tuning in with us today. This is one of the most special evenings for us as educators, and it means the world to our teachers. Thank you.